Mic test, mic test. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It is another uncut entry. What did we do the last week? Well, I worked on. I went to the fabric store up in North London. Vega Textiles. Shout out. I went there, got some fabrics. I wanted to make samples. So I went and got the fabrics. I have them here. The leftovers, and then also untouched fabric. But yeah, no, I made this, the knit, the training knit vest. With the fabric slightly lighter. I would say it's half the weight of the initial sample that I have, the gray one. I have it on the wash. Hold on, let me center myself because it's just better for post edit. But yeah, it was my first time going to a fabric store, so it was nice to see how like fabric rolls and materials are really in just overall in general. And I got to see some wool. I like wool. Got to see some denim, some cotton jersey, also some sports fabrics, some more technical stuff. I think maybe it must have been nylon or whatever. But usually fabrics like the ones you use for bomber jackets and those type of sporty type jackets. So I'll definitely go back there to grab some experimental fabrics. Actually, I have I have the thingy here. I have a cotton. This is that one. This is the knit vest I'm wearing. It's roughly 500 GSM cotton rib knit. I don't know if it's 2x2 or something. I'm still learning. And then the cotton jersey, 100 grams. Sorry, 100 GSM. Then cotton denim, 300 GSM, roughly. But yeah, no, I cut out a 10 by 10 centimeter and weighed it on my, the food scale. I mean, it's not the most accurate, but it gives me a good estimate of how heavy the fabric is, so at least I know for future sake. And it's also good to to cut a sample so that if I like the material and I'm like, okay, yeah, I could just go to the store, but how can I get this one here? Type shit. What else is there? Yeah, I mainly focused this week on creating samples for the sleeveless tee and the knit training vest. I actually thought that I won't be able to do or create the training knit vest because it's knitwear. But then when I looked at the construction of the sample, I'm like, oh, I can kind of construct this at home with the knit fabric. So I just went and did it. This is what I'm wearing right now. I mean, in terms of the pattern, there's some flaws in it. Like the neck opening is a little too wide and large. so it has like a bit of bunching at the back. I could show you actually if I turn. Yeah, you see. But the overall fit in terms of length, sleeve wise, and whatnot, it's there. I just need to add the finishing for the sleeves because I didn't add it on the pattern, so I didn't accommodate for it. So that's something I need to update. What else? And also, yeah, make adjustment on the neck opening, make it smaller because it's a little too wide. And when I added the color, it just, yeah, it didn't add up. But yeah, it was interesting because these aren't complicated pieces. And the whole idea is for me to start sewing as frequent as I can. Obviously, whilst juggling a bar job. And last week I worked how many days? Maybe three days or some shit. So I had enough room, and whatnot. But yeah, and I also and five went went to the gym 5 times, hitting my protein intake and whatnot. Also, I did I mention this? No, I didn't. Yeah, so I had shout out to Joe Fuller and Sam. They oh Joe Fuller, he's a videographer, director, producer, and the list goes on. But yeah, talented guy. We got acquainted through a mutual maybe 2 years ago, and he's always wanted to work with me, and I've always wanted to do something there too, but just wasn't able to align things. But yeah, no, last week we were able to get something sorted. So we filmed sort of like a commercial for Galanacci, so my personal brand, as well as Pioneers of Greatness. I'll show you in a sec. Things to discover in one's life. Some find it early, some later, and some never. I am one of the fortunate ones. My purpose is to empty myself of my creative potential and to inspire others to do the same. Because the highest human act is to inspire, and to inspire is to take action. I've been taking action ever since I picked up a pencil as a kid, and now a sewing machine, with fashion as my canvas and pioneers of greatness as my purpose. Come on, purpose in that. But yeah, no, we did a shoot here in the home studio and made some magic, as you can see. That was fun because it was very professional. He had the gear, everything, edited it himself as well. Also shot some behind the scenes. Those are yet to come. But yeah, no, it's different from my usual shit because the way I approach my work is very raw. I don't really do much of the high quality video editing type shit. Mine is just like pick up the phone, point and shoot, or GoPro, point and shoot. I don't really care about lighting. I don't really care about, you know, camera placement. I mean, to a certain extent. But yeah, it was like a 6 hour shoot. And obviously, I got to see Joe Fuller's like creative mind and sort of how the technicalities of actually filming, and that most of the time it's to do with the lighting. So you can have You can have the shittest camera, the oldest camera, but as long as you get the lighting correct, then boom, whatever you shoot will come out amazing. So I think that's what I learned. I was like, yo, I need to invest in some sort of the light sticks that he had going to sort of light up the room and set the mood, the atmosphere. And because then once you kind of get the lighting right, you won't really need much during post production, you know, because most of the work goes in the actual physical space as opposed to, you know, editing on a computer. And also I had to like read a monologue, and like, yeah, as the, you know, the thing for the video. And what I realized is, you know, because they were here, two of them, whilst I was recording, they were in the room, obviously, like recording with me. And I'm not really used to that, because usually when I shoot this, no one's around. Like my girlfriend's out right now, and sometimes she's in, but obviously she's my girlfriend, so it's just I just be me and record. And then when you listen to it, the monologue is very flat. There's no like inflections or points like where my personality shows, you know, just like me when I'm talking now, there's you can feel that, you know, there's changes in tone and whatnot. And I was like, yo, I need to play around with my voice more, because it's added later. It's an added layer when it's an added layer when you're communicating. It just makes it sort of more entertaining and also captivating. Because if I'm just talking like this and it's very monotone, and that's pretty much how I did on the video, like this, there's no life, there's no personality to it. That's why I was like, yo, if I'm gonna do a monologue again, I need to add my personality to it, and, you know, have it be more punchier or whatever, you know, depends on the mood of the piece. But that's sort of what I realized. I was like, yeah, I could improve on that, because I don't really like reading shit, you know. I prefer more of on the top of the dome. But then again, I'm pretty good with writing, creative writing. So I wrote that monologue. Didn't even have to use ChatGPT, man. Like, I don't do that because I write. You know, I'm pretty good with writing. But it's just that reading of a script, whatever. I need to learn how to, you know, be able to, what's the word? I don't know the word. But yeah, I need to be able to, you know, translate that personality when reading something. But yeah, that's one of the things that I realized. I'll keep going on loops. See this as well? Me going, reiterating a point and then reiterating it again, going on loops. So I just need to make the point and cut and move to the next. See, even right now, I'm literally analyzing myself as I talk. My mind is just moving left and right, up and down. But yeah, that's what happened last week. And what else? What else? What else? What else? What have I learned last week that I could share in this entry? Honestly, yeah, I was burnt out doing the denim prototype. Let me grab it actually. to this, I don't know, maybe the last month. Yeah, last month, I believe. Maybe a little long, maybe even pushing 2 months. Nah, a month and a half. So I did this, right? This prototype using calico fabric. After doing this, I got burnt out. I was like, yo, this shit was, this took a lot from me mentally, to the point where I didn't do shit afterwards for a good 3 weeks or 2 weeks. That's why now I want to focus on the basic stuff so that I can actually go and sew the product itself and practice my sewing skills. Because like I mentioned in the previous entry, I will be doing made to order for Pioneers of Greatness, and then that will allow me to, you know, practice my sewing skills too and keep the costs low at the beginning of launching Pioneers of Greatness. But yeah, I also realized a couple of things that I needed to add into my sort of core pieces. I needed to do like a signature feature on it, so that you know that it's, yeah, that's Pioneers of Greatness, and that is the arc or the arch. So originally I have the slogan, or the logo, Pioneers of Greatness, and it's on on the, it's not on, it's in a arch shape, you know, as you can see here. And that's just because in boxing, what you get is when you have fight robes, at least in the 70s, around that time, they always have like an arch, you know, with the name on the back. Obviously, that's just, for me, I think it just accommodates to how the back is, you know, like it arches, you know, your back isn't like a flat canvas, it arches. So for me, if you're having a text, it should always arch if it's placed at the back. And that's why the Pioneers of Greatness, 2 sec. That's why the I can't even pronounce it. That's why the Pioneers of Greatness slogan is arched, as you can see here. And it's that feature, the arch. That's the feature I want to have for most of the tops for Galanacci. Sorry, Galanacci, Pioneers of Greatness. And that's why on the prototype for the denim jacket, I tried to incorporate it, but I think it didn't come out as arched as I wanted it to. So I would need to make it more arched, at least like a lot more aggressive, because it kind of looks flat, close to flat or straight at the moment. Yeah, it needs to follow sort of the same arch as the slogan. But yeah, I'll show you. I did a, what do you call it? A render of how actually even here is very subtle. Actually, I guess basically the back yoke has an arch, so that's the feature that I'm going to be adding to most of the pieces an arched back yoke, and then that also accommodates for elevating the basic pieces, you know. And it also has like structural features to it that helps with, you know, the fit, the draping, and whatnot. So the knitted training vest, as well as the sleeveless tee, I'll be implementing a back yoke, an arched back yoke, to elevate them, and then have that as a signature sort of look for Pioneers of Greatness, POG. And I've had the arch way back. So because like I said, Pioneers of Greatness is it derived from Galanacci, so my previous brand that I put in the back burner, and it always was an arch. So from visual identity, I'm transferring that into the actual technical construction of the garments, and then see what else I can, you know, play with and whatnot in order to, you know, make a signature. Like when you see it, you'll be like, yeah, that's a Pioneers of Greatness. That's a POG piece. And that could be through many things, you know, through the use of materiality. I do like knit, I do like suede, I do like leather. And what else? Nylon, things like that. Very having a curated material palette, you know. What else? What else did I learn? Oh, it's been 20 minutes already. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. Can't think of anything else. I'm out. Peace.